For those of you that are sticking it out and finishing up chapter 1 with lesson 5, what they have here is for you to build a bridge. Now some of you are going to say, oh, we already did that. But this time you get to use a different type of material in order to do that. Most of this stuff I'm sure you have at home. All right? Cardboard tubes. Those could totally be toilet paper rolls. Straws. Heavy paper like poster board or cardstock would be great. Masking tape, a toy car, pencils, scissors, poster board. The poster board is basically so you have something to anchor the bridge to. And then you have clay to hold it down. If you're building it at home, you wouldn't necessarily have to. You could totally build it on a shoebox. You could glue it down. You wouldn't have to take it apart. So you could totally build a bridge out of these materials. And you can answer the questions. This page is actually in your book. It talks about combining materials. So when you combine materials, sometimes it makes things better. So, for instance, it says building materials. A structure is something that is constructed. Bridges, houses, and towers are structures. They could not be built with just one material. They need a combination of materials. Materials such as concrete, steel, glass, wood, stone, and brick are used to build structures. Look at these structures. Read about the materials used to build them. So these are skyscrapers, and they are made of steel and other materials. Here you have a footbridge, and it's made of wood and metal to hold it up. If you look underneath here, you have a metal beam. Here you have another bridge that's made of steel and concrete. Homes. Homes are made from different types of material. You might have brick, wood, steel, concrete, so lots of different things there. The outside of this tower right here is mostly glass and concrete. So this up here is all glass so that you can see out, and then you have the concrete here, and I'm going to guess there might be glass here. I'm not sure. So there are different things that you can use to make buildings. So why do builders use different materials when they build a structure? Well, you build something and you want it to last. You don't want it to just fall down. So in order to make it stronger and sturdy, you want to use different types of materials. They kind of work together. So for instance, if you're building, let's say you're building Legos, right? And you just start stacking the Legos on top of each other. If you don't link them together, are you going to be able to make a four-walled house? Or are the walls going to fall down because they're not connected? Yeah, you have to have something to connect them together, okay? So you have to use different materials. In terms of the Legos, you have the plastic, but then you also have the little knobs that stick up so they interlock with each other. If the Legos didn't have those interlocking knobs, could you build very well with them? No. So you have to have things that hook together. We're going to talk about words that you can use to describe materials. All right? So be listening for those as you go through. Here I have a flipped video for you that talks about combining materials.
Hi everybody, I'm Mike Arscope. Welcome back. Today's science topic is about matter and energy. This is important because when we combine certain materials, they can do things together that they can't do by themselves. For example, this is a colored peg. On its own, it looks like a single spot of red. But if you put a bunch of pegs together, you can make something like this. With one single peg, you just have one dot of color. But many pegs together can make a picture. Can you use this tiny building block to help you drive over a river? build a bridge. So, we learned that matter has certain properties that determine how it is used. A peg or a building block can't do much on their own. But combine them with other items and you can use them to make a picture or a bridge. Now it's your turn. Come up with other examples of when a bunch of somethings becomes more useful than a single something. Until next time, this is Mike Arscope, signing out.
So how can you combine materials? At the end of this unit, we're going to know that materials can be combined to make or build things. So here in this picture, different materials we see might be cement, glass, concrete or cement, I guess you could say, wood, steel. I mean, there's lots of different materials here that could be used to build these. How you use material depends on its properties. So let's think for a minute. A piece of paper. It's smooth, it has color, right? Tears easily. You have tape. Tape can be clear, sticky, tears easy. And you have crayons. So they all have different properties. Remember, properties are the things that we use our senses to describe them. All right? So, for instance, we combine materials like concrete here. Concrete is made of other materials to make it strong. So in order to make concrete, they use sand, cement, gravel, and water, which makes it stronger. All right? Again, a structure is something that is constructed. Okay? So make sure you remember that, because that's important. When you're building with materials, it's going to be important to use the right kind. So for instance, if we're building this, are we going to use cloth? No. Are we going to use string? No. Could we use wood? I think so. Could we use glass for the windows? Absolutely. What about brick? Could we use brick? Yeah. Would we use tape? Heavens no. A house would not work very well with tape, string, or cloth. We definitely need to use these solid pieces of material. Now these would be considered solids, but think about how they move. Can you bend or cut string, cloth, and tape easily? Yeah, they bend pretty easily and they tear rather easily. These things take a little bit more effort, okay? So, which material cannot be used to build a bridge that people can use? So this is something that you're going to walk across, drive across. Which one of these materials would we not want to use? Wood, steel, concrete, or cloth? I hope you said cloth, because if we use cloth, it's going to bend. Okay? We can't use cloth for a bridge. That would not work. We need solid, unbendable objects. All right? We don't want them to bend while we're walking across them. That would be bad. That leads me up to your book. You should have some pages in your book that you're working on. And when you finish lesson 5, you should have this worksheet. Now, I do not need any of this back unless your parents would like for me to check it over to make sure you did it correctly, and I'd be more than happy to do that. But just make sure you use your book to help you answer these questions, and all of your answers should be from Chapter 1, Lesson 5. If you do have questions, have Mom or Dad call me. It's more than okay to do that.